Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the SUP Podcast, number 145. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. How was everybody? I got my two co-hosts with me as usual. We got Lawrence Deloach to my left.
What's up?
And we got Chris Chaney to my right.
What up? What's going on? I'm home, out of the element, but I'm here and I'm excited.
You're home where? Where's home, Chris?
Boston, baby. Well,
Full
Andover,
address.
Mass. Like 20 minutes outside. Shut up.
You
20
should've
minutes
said-
outside the city.
Just say Boston so people give a fuck.
Oh, man. How was everybody's Christmas?
Christmas was good, man. I mean, you know, I'm usually small with the Christmas shit. It's just usually me, my sister, and my mom, but it was good. Nice to be home, you know, all the same. What about you guys?
It's really good. It was a good time. I got to open up my present. So my Atlas shoes came in on Christmas Eve.
Oh,
I
awesome.
opened up my girlfriend's pair that she gave me on Christmas Day. I put them right next to each other, and I was like, "Oh boy, what the fuck am I gonna do?"
Now, wait, Luke, let me ask you a question. Did you pick the best two? Did you pick the best left and the best right and fuse them?
Oh, no, I didn't do that. I should have done that.
Because you can take the two best ones and put those together. Then you can have the backup pair that's like the worst versions of the shoe.
No, I'm really thinking about just keeping them as a backup pair because I was trying to sell them all of like Christmas, day after Christmas. So 26th, I was just trying to Boxing Day. I was trying to go around trying to sell them on like Facebook Marketplace, eBay. And then I went to round two and round two gave me a terrible deal on them. Yeah, it was not good.
Damn.
They were like, "Oh, we'll give you like $260 for them," and I was like, "Suck my dick, get the fuck out of here." Lawrence, how was yours?
Yeah, Lawrence, how many socks did you get?
72, because I was very bad this year. So. Yeah, no. It was very low key. My favorite part of Christmas is NBA games.
Mm-hmm.
That's just like the dopest shit, man. Like the basketball, there was football on, I love it, man.
Did you see Anthony Davis flaunting our L's in our face on Christmas Day?
Yeah, man, that shit hurt, man.
That shit fucking hurt. For those who don't know what we're talking about, Anthony Davis was wearing a pair of the Kobe 6 Pro Tros, the Grinches, just letting everybody know he got
Luke's
them.
Grail.
We don't got them. I was so sad, man.
I think it's interesting, man, with the Grinches, because I think everyone was so happy, that one of the greatest colorways of the Kobe line, one of the most iconic colorways, was being retroed or in a protro form. And then it's the same old bullshit, especially with, since, the legend Kobe Bryant passed away, people have been wanting the sneaker models and people haven't been able to get them, man. This one was so bad that Vanessa Bryant, God bless her, everything she's going through, she like had to put out a statement on some, like, we're working to get more Kobe's, basically. It's tough, man. That sucks.
Yeah, it was really sad. I don't know. Everybody in the Discord, for those who aren't in the Discord, link in the bio, join that shit. It's a lot of fun. But everybody was speculating that they're going to do like a pop-up shop in LA for these Kobe Grinches, which, not ideal because we're not on the West Coast at all, but maybe.
And it's after Christmas now?
Yeah, but also what I'm thinking about is I know it's like it'll be frustrating, but if it is true that they're going to do a second release, we might see resale go down. Because I think as far as like in comparison to like the originals, obviously the $400 resale price is kind of doable. That's a one pair of Atlas shoes a trade away.
Yeah, there you go. That's what you do with your second pair.
I should. A couple of other interesting pairs. Anybody else see any pairs on the?
Someone wore some Iversons, like the Abominable Snowman version. I forget who it was, but I was like,
Montrezl Harrell.
I was like,
yeah.
He was really trying to make a statement there. He was like, yeah, I could compete with Grinches with these Iversons.
Yeah,
that shit look crazy.
It's always, Christmas Day basketball sneakers, Nike is always, they, obviously with the pandemic but in years past, I can just remember so many Christmas Day sneakers that you would be like, God, I need those. Whether it was Kevin Durant's, LeBron's, it was all Kobe's, obviously. But it just feels Kyrie's even to a certain extent. But it just feels like it wasn't, anything this year that made you go like, oh, I need these Christmas Day sneakers other than the Kobe's.
Yeah.
You know what I didn't see on anybody's feet, which I know Chris has been pining for the past like 3 weeks, is the Jordan 11 adapts. Nobody's playing in those, man.
No one wants those.
I think I'm the only one that wanted them until I saw the $500 price tag, and I was like, "Yo, why did you go up?"
Did you see the video of the guy trying them on?
No, show me.
Dude,
I would love to see that.
So he tries
So
them
they-
on, and basically you just hear a big ass whirring sound, like just a loud as fuck. The sirens.
I thought I was going to see someone playing those just because everyone's playing everything. I mean, if you're playing in Abominable Snowman Iversons, then I would think that Jordan Adapts would, enter the court side at least. But no, and they even said a statement saying that this shit doesn't even really work and it dies out quick.
Wow.
Well, like I said before, and I think I've told you this, I trying on Adapts, and these are designed for performance, for on the basketball court. And I remember trying on the Adapt Hyper Adapts or whatever the Adapt 2.0s. Not a fun sneaker. It's heavy, it's bulky, it's loud, and it's not something that. So I just feel like Jordan is just once again just Gentry Humphrey just doing what he does and fucking things up.
It is cool to see the technology hit a silhouette that we're all sort of familiar with and we can connect with. So it is on the right path of like becoming a sneaker that more people can actually purchase. I don't know that $500 price tag because we had the mags, right? That didn't auto lace, then the BBs, then the Hyper Adapts, and it got down to 400 from the crazy price, but now they went back up.
Yeah, but then a lot of the time it's like the resale too is like you can get them for the low on the resale at this point where they're all kind of hovering around like 380, 400.
Right. I mean, these, I don't know how many, I don't know what the quantities are in these. I mean, I would think that they would limit these ones a little bit, try to make the value a little bit higher. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to pay attention to this release though, just because, I always care about the new technologies and the progression of where the Tunic Jolly goes as far as the silhouettes. I want them. I think it's a hard flex, but I mean, they don't really work. They said it. The girl who helped work on it was like, yeah, these don't last. But I mean, it'd be a nice flex for like a month,
I think what they need to do, and obviously I know this is going to be, it's easier said than done, is they need to figure out how to make this technology a little bit more affordable for people.
Yeah.
And until then, I think it's the novelty. It's going to always be a novelty. And we said this in the past. Before then, I think it was like $600-700 for a pair of the Earl Nikes,
Mm-hmm.
and now we're getting these, $500 Jordan 11, and we've seen in the past $350-400. I think until we get to that point where this can be $250, it's going to continuously, to me, be a flop. Unfortunately, the technology, yes, it is. It's expensive, so it does come with the premium, but it's a novelty, and I can't get behind that right now.
You know what? I had a weird thought that I think that those were supposed to be the Holiday 11s, but that they didn't trust in the price tag and the technology, so they went with the Jubilees.
That is a crazy theory.
I don't think that would be, because I feel like Jordan, number one, Jordan would never mass produce a auto lacing sneaker. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think maybe the original thought was like, oh, okay, well, make these the Holiday 11 because that will get people to be interested in not only the Christmas 11, but that technology. But I don't think they got it right in time.
No, I don't think that at all. I think Jordan 11 is the Jordan 11, and then this Hyper Adapt is and Jordan Brand's done that in the past where they have their Holiday 11 that they super mass produce, and then they have like a special 11. I remember in the past it was like the Pantone 11s where they'll throw collectors and people limited type of Jordan 11 after. But there's no way they're mass producing over 500,000, 11s, Hyper Adapt 11s, Hyper 11s, or whatever you want to call those garbage pieces of shit. And yeah, I'm just not. I think it's a money grab and it sucks. And it's not. It's just trash.
These are not Asian family friendly. I'll tell you that much. Because you can't like if you're going to an Asian household, you're taking off your shoes, right? So immediately you got to go to take off your shoes. You're sneaking out in the middle of the night. Everybody's
they're not the sneak out shoes for sure.
This is not the shoe for going to sneak over to your Asian baby girl's house. You know what I'm saying? Not that shoe. You're gonna get caught. You're gonna get attacked by the father. That's what's gonna happen. You see, you were mentioning that you wanted to keep a close eye on these. What I want to keep a close eye on is the Jerry Lorenzo deal.
Yeah, that's another one. This is huge, actually. Lawrence, your boy. Your second favorite designer.
Yeah, I'm actually. This was not surprising, but it was also surprising. because obviously Jerry Lorenzo, he's a Kanye disciple. He helped Kanye with, a lot of his designs. And we all just had that feeling like Nike they saw that they lost Kanye and they were going to do everything to keep his boys happy, whether it was Don C, Jerry, Travis, all these, guys that were under Kanye. And I think it just is another example of Nike saying, listen, we don't need you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I was actually, I mean, I was really caught off guard. I wasn't expecting this result. I mean, like you said, it is sort of like you could, when you lay out the pieces, you can kind of see why this happens. Luke, you had actually an interesting theory off mic that you told me about.
So my theory was that like Nike was kind of pricing out Jerry to begin with. Like his shoes did not really get the chance to shine for the most part because of their higher price tag. And I'm wondering if it's because wet. But I remember being in like the Nike stores when Juice was working at Nike. We were all kind of bullshitting around, and one of his coworkers had the Fear of God ones, and he was talking about how like if I wasn't able to get these for retail, I probably wouldn't get these because like first of all, resale's a little crazy, but then also like it was difficult for him to even pull the trigger because the shoes were like what were they like $300-400 to begin with, which is like
I think there was three something, yeah.
You're like 350, right?
350.
Yeah, so that's already like a pretty high price tag on any Nike product to begin with. And then even like the raids that he did and the moccasins were a little bit higher in retail value than anything else. It might be a material thing, but it also might be like Nike was kind of setting up Jerry. Like it could perceive as Nike was kind of setting up Jerry to like fail to begin with, because like the silhouettes, people were kind of like about most of them, and then you have this high price tag, and it is like it really doesn't promote like anything, like any chance.
Well, the ones I get being expensive, but it's the other models that he didn't necessarily change that much being a higher price, which you pointed out to me that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it's like the moccasins were I think like 120 or 130 to begin with, and the raids were like 200 to 250 somewhere around there, and I know that's like a regular pair of air raids were like 150. So it's just like there's like something to do with the pricing. I think was like almost gave other shoes, and plus like the shoes that were coming out, I believe were coming out at the same time as some other very hyped models. So like I think like the timing of everything, plus like the pricing, it was just kind of like Nike was like, all right, well look, your shoes didn't sell as well as somebody else, so we don't really need you that badly. But they didn't give him a fair shot.
I think losing Jerry is going to hurt, but I just feel like Nike has this like we can continue to push whoever we want and they're going to do fine. Now, I'm not too sure because I feel like Jerry, Kanye, Don C stuff is like kind of stale a little bit, and Don C isn't as big as he was maybe 5 years ago.
Correct.
Obviously they still have the number one collab guy right now. They can just give Travis any model and, it'll generate a buzz. But Jerry was kind of like following the Kanye blueprint in terms of like my own shoe, in a sense, like designing his own shit. I wonder, like, obviously he's going to have to use the Adidas kitchen, the innovative kitchen and see what they have. And obviously it's a lot of boost type of stuff where with Nike he was able to kind of, use, in my opinion, stuff that technology I like a little bit more, but I'm sure he's like supposed to head the basketball division and shit for Adidas. So that's going to be huge for him. And then Kanye's going to probably do, he's going to do his own thing. Jerry's going to do his own thing. They have Beyonce, like they have a high powered roster.
The roster is getting strong enough where I think that with a couple more solid people, I would be worried if I was Nike. I mean, like you said, Lawrence, you could do anything you want as Nike, you keep moving forward. Like, I don't think that train's really going to stop. Mm-hmm. But if you get a strong enough team around you, the team can do a lot of the lifting for the three stripes. You know what I mean? Like some people are going to go to buy Jerry Lorenzo's Adidas because they like Jerry Lorenzo. You know what I mean? The same way that like, I follow Fragment, you follow John Elliott, Luke follows Asian Baby Girls and just buys what they wear. I think that if that roster gets big enough, then I think Adidas will be able to snatch some clout from that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's a move that I think a lot of people are gonna like maybe go like, oh, cool, but like in the industry, I think a lot of people are going like, oh shit, like that's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
He got a tattoo. Whenever someone makes a deal and then they get a tattoo based off the deal, something crazy is gonna happen.
It means they got a lot of money for that deal.
Yeah, I mean, like, like how much power do you think they're gonna let him have if he was like, yeah, I'll get a tattoo of this shit.
I don't know. Probably a lot. Probably a lot. We're also seeing it with NBA players. I know we already went over the like basketball stuff, but we saw Jamal Murray signed a New Balance as well. So we're seeing like a little bit of an exodus from Nike. And I'm saying like, in speculation terms, it's like people are offering something. There's something going on behind the scenes contract wise where either they're getting more money or they're getting their own exclusive sneaker deal, but they're getting some sort of better deal from these other companies. And they're kind of these other companies are getting kind of a foot over Nike in some capacity.
Wow, the puns.
Well,
Okay,
I think
I'll see myself out. Don't worry about it.
I think a lot of times you would see a lot of people would just stay brand loyal to like Nike and stuff like that, but there's so much money being thrown at these guys now to switch over, and Nike can't roster everyone.
Mhm.
So when you have Puma and New Balance and Adidas, man, like, and they throwing money at you, fuck it, like I can create my own little legacy, and I think that's what the athletes are doing. And it just shows that in terms of endorsement deals and rosters, I don't think Nike has like, they don't have full control over it anymore. I think it's, the gap is being closed. Damn, you pun that shit out. The gap, Kanye, fuck it. Let's 2021.
All right, so Lawrence is gone. I'm gone. So it's just Chris's show now.
Yes.
You do a solo podcast. You see how hard it is.
Fucking fake Bill Burr.
Well, you know what's weird to think about? No, it is crazy to think. So, you brought it up. I mean, based on the whole discussion that we have here, but Luke, you said it. He got his own shoe at Nike already.
Right.
So, and that's usually the sell when you go over. Like, all right, we'll give you the shoe that Nike wouldn't let you have. But Jerry already had it. So I don't know what kind of extra power. I think maybe that basketball title may have been it, or I don't know what he's going to be able to do. But he's going to be able to like do some crazy shit with that title and coming off from Nike. Already having the shit that he did over there.
I think we might see our first collab. We might see our first Yeezy collab.
Maybe that's true. I was gonna say you might title wise there. Yeah, he has the pull to grab Kanye and put him on the basketball court because they don't like quantums on the court, even though it's technically a basketball shoe. But also the other thing to think about is he's the same level as Jay-Z is at Puma.
Explain.
So Jay-Z is the head of basketball at Puma.
Right.
So Jerry Lorenzo is the head of basketball.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
They have comparable titles between different companies.
Yes.
But it seems like I don't want to say that Jay-Z was like the first like celebrity sort of like position holder, but now that Puma has one and Adidas has one, I feel like to hop on the cloud train, I feel like a bunch of these companies are going to try to do that. Maybe not Nike, but like giving some celebrities positions to help sell. I mean, like Reebok tried to do that with Swiss Beats, that whole thing back in the day. I don't know if like that was where this is bouncing from, but it seems like that's a trend that's going on now based off these two events.
It's true. I don't know, man. Side note, I feel like K-Swiss really missed a opportunity with Swiss Beats. I just remembered that those two things were existing at the same time.
Jesus Christ.
What?
I don't know. It was just a random thought.
The Venn diagram of those two overlapping is just SWI. That's it. There's nothing else.
And then they do the K-Swizz, bro.
Guy, get out of here.
I told you I was leaving already, so.
Listen, guys, it's been a fucking rough year, and this neither one of your banters is helping this year, but we've had some wonderful sneakers drop this year.
Yeah,
and I really a lot of them I missed out on. I've been seeing a lot of celebrities give their top sneakers of the year, and us at the Sub Podcast, we want to give our top sneakers and sneaker of the year. Let's talk, because it's been an interesting year with COVID, and stores haven't really been open, but we still did a lot of online releases that made things a little blurry. This has been the year of the SB Dunk, and also the year of a $2,000 Air Jordan 1. Luke, what are some of your top sneakers, and then we'll kind of talk about the sneaker of the year afterwards.
Some of my favorite sneakers of this year. I mean, of course, you got the Chunky Dunky. That was like the big SB of the year. But the Strange Loves were the first ones. I think those are my grail. I see those and I'm like, oh shit, these are These are the ones. We've got, the Grinches that came out. Even the Fire Red 4s, I did really appreciate the re-release of those. Let's see. We had the re-release of the Flints. I like that a lot. Let me see what else. The Atlas shoes, of course. I got 2 pairs now, so I am legally bound to mention them whenever I get a chance.
Yeah.
And of course, there's a sleeper one that I wanted to mention, the Doraemon SB Highs, the Kevin Perez skate shoe that came out. Man, I love those shoes a lot. Very underrated as far as like one of the shoes that rolled out in 2020. Don't really know how people missed the boat on those, but really combined.
They don't know the reference, Luke.
I love the anime reference. I love the SB High silhouette. It was a perfect mashing of the two.
Luke, this is exactly why people missed out on it. Lawrence, can you give us a synopsis of what Doraemon is?
Doraemon is a anime person figure.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
It's like a
No, he's
Japanese
not wrong.
cartoon character anime. Doraemon, SB, Nike.
It's a mechanical cat that time travels, and he's got a pocket that's an infinite pocket.
There you go. Fucking nailed it. I nailed it, gentlemen. But
I think it's not to cut you off, but I think that is I personally like that shoe, but it's things like that I don't think it's going to make the cut just because it doesn't check off a lot of the qualifications, right? So like hype is one. I know that kind of conveys a lot, but just overall hype. I mean, like the story I think is there.
Like Chris, what do you like this year?
I got lucky enough where I got most of the stuff that I liked. So like the Fragment 3s, the Guavas. I mean, of course, but then everyone's going to say like Chunky Ducky Strange Love. Like I mentioned Travis Dunks on another episode as I think my pre-pandemic. Those guys. Damn, there's so many like good shoes this year. Honestly, I would pick my number one as the Guava 4s. Just because I know I've been kind of preaching these guys, but overall, like the unveiling, the story that went along, how they like we all hated them, then we loved them, all that. That to me was like that was the shit.
What about you, Elle? What were some of your favorite shoes?
Lawrence is like holding back his laughter at me.
Nah. Let's see. It is some of my favorite shoes of the year. Strange Loves, Civilist, Unions, both colorways are amazing. Off-White 5s, both colorways. Kobe Grinches. And that's about it.
That's about it.
We got to give the crown to one of them though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Luke. Since I started asking you first, what was your shoe of the year? One shoe of the year.
Warren Lotus, baby. Toxic Greens. Nothing's more toxic than Warren Lotus, baby. Listen, if you wanted to like go through a criteria of sneaker of the year and you wanted to talk hype, you wanted to talk exclusivity, you wanted to talk about story, there's no shoe that had more of an impact on sneakers this year than I think the Warren Lotus fucking fake dunks.
You're not wrong.
Listen, we were coming in every week talking about how this shoe, whether you loved him like me, whether you hated him like Lawrence, whether you were on the fence like Chris because he didn't want to make a decision because he thought maybe he might work with Warren one day. He was trying to play both sides. Politics fucking Cheney over here. Whatever you want to say, that shoe affected the industry in a major way.
Yeah, but it's not a real shoe, so I don't know if you can count that. It's a bootleg.
If I could buy the shoe, it's a real shoe.
No, that's not. No. In reality, it's a physical shoe. Yes, that you could buy.
No, I just wanted to mention, like, I just did, like, all joking aside, I did want to mention it as like some sort of like technical.
No, but that you raised a good point. I mean, he does check a lot of the boxes more so than some of the actual releases that came out.
A lot. I just wanted to bring it up. I wanted to be fair. Not a lot of these foot sites, a lot of these like blogs do not give it any credit whatsoever. They kind of wipe it from the history of like what's going on in sneakers as far as 2020. So I just wanted to mention it so that we all have it here, so that we're on record as being the only podcast that dares to even mention this shoe. That being said,
no other shoe got Nike to sue the guy.
Exactly. So. All joking aside, Chunky Dunky, best shoe this year. Fucking crazy rollout, crazy design, unique colorways. It was eye-catching and great. And I couldn't get a pair, and I'll be salty about it forever. So Chunky Dunky, end of period for me.
What do you think, El?
My shoe of the year. Damn, it comes down to me to two sneakers. It's either and they're both pre-pandemic sneakers. They're Off-White 5s and
the black ones.
the black ones, and the Travis Scott SBs.
Damn.
I love both. I'm going to give the edge, and I'm gonna say only because Virgil's already had a shoe of the year, and I didn't give Trav the shoe of the year last year for the Trav ones. I'm gonna say the Trav SBs were the shoe of the year. And I think and maybe in 10 years, we're gonna look at those Travis SBs in the same grail like status that we look at like a pair of Tiffany's or like we're gonna look back on those because those were as great as Strange Loves and Chunkies and and Chunkies and Civilus and the Grateful, the Bears, the Trav SBs, and I'm gonna say Chunkies are gonna have that a similar effect in years. I just feel like that was the shoe that Nike they didn't roll it out on the app. You had to go to a skate shop. You had to. It was so fucking hard to get them.
You had to be a skater to get them, basically, or unless you had a bunch of money.
Or yeah, unless you had a bunch of money, or you were able to get shit backdoor, or you just luckily won a raffle.
Yeah.
But like for in SBs, we see many skate shops get their own SB. We see, music, artists get and when I say like, we look at like what is it? MF Doom, like they've had, SBs, but like a rapper that is like one of the biggest acts currently in the game, for him to have a SB and for it to fucking pop the way it popped, it was insane.
It's gonna be the Travis or the Strangelove that kind of gets that grail, but like I think with time they'll be very synonymous with each other because they both drop very similar times, right? Both February. Yeah, I think it's going to be one of those two. Lawrence, I agree with you. I think the Trav name might carry it to that. Strangelove is going to be right next to that, going like, well, it's that and then Strangeloves.
See, it's so weird because as much as I feel like Strangeloves are a beautiful shoe, I feel like they're so polarizing to people because some people just can't get behind pink. You understand? Or velvet. Yeah. So but what's crazy is because people clamor for the Ben and Jerry SBs. So I it's just interesting to me, man. It's and then for celebrities, I think obviously celebrities say all the Dior's, but for the average consumer, I think Travs are just well done.
See, this is the thing though. This is the thing that I don't like ignoring is that it on paper is the Dior ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess so.
But it's like this is like when you ask your friend like who's your favorite rapper, and then they go Biggie, Pac. And it's like we know that. All right, we're having the real juice conversation, but the real winner is the Dior ones because of not only like it's Italian leather, the Dior name with Jordan, but we all ignore that. Why are we all okay with ignoring that?
Because fuck high-end sneakers. Like fuck that fucking that glass ceiling that they put up. I'm not about that.
So just to review, our picks is I'm going to say Guava 4 is Union. You say Travis Dunks, and then what did you say again, Lou?
I said Chunkies.
I mean, yeah, okay, I can see all of that.
I can see all of it. The Guavas were nice, man. They were a nice shoe.
They just prevailed when they shouldn't have. That's part of what my reasoning is because so they followed the Sale 4s, the Virgil 4s.
Yeah.
So people were kind of already over 4s. They had the hype 4, right? And then Chris Gibbs from Union comes around and goes, all right, I'm going to give you 2 with this weird tongue. And everyone was like, dude, gross, get the fuck out of here. And then won them over with just how he released, how he showed the pictures, the storytelling of everything that went along. The fact that like all of a sudden there's like the tongue is up and we're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That whole thing, he just really made a solid shoe. If he didn't follow Virgil's 4, I think that would have been way more revered.
Yeah.
I think because we just got a 4 by one of the top designers in the industry right now, it kind of got slept on a little bit at first and had to really work its way back up just because of the merit of the shoe.
I see it. I'm also noticing like, yeah, we had the Off-White 4s, the Union 4s, and then we had the Fire Red 4s in the end of the year. We had like 3/3 of like the year are filled with 4s. I think we're going to start.
Yeah, there was the Tech and the Fire.
Yes. Well, I thought they were said it was going to be the Tech, and then they turned it into the Fire Red. I don't remember.
I mean, I'm just saying we're just talking about like fours in general, like the story of fours this year. It's around the anniversary, so I think these are maybe like trickled down from that. But
Yeah.
like, yeah, just they put a lot of focus on fours this year, and it's just crazy that like that shoe still did as well as it did after Virgil gave everybody the shoe that everyone supposedly wanted, a Virgil.
Well, I mean,
4.
also, but you also had to realize that those Virgil 4s were technically a women's shoe. So
Yeah.
I feel like, that color, and I think it's a beautiful color, but I think everyone more so the rumors were it was or it may happen. It's supposed to be there's supposed to be a black and cement version of the off-white
That was
fours
shown at the Chicago shit.
for the men, and then you had the
Yeah.
sail colorway for the women. That was supposedly what it was supposed to be. But I feel like the unions, and once again, I mean, I can remember when people were just like, these are disgusting, and oh my god, this tongue, and this is ruined. And then, like you said, we joked about it. We said they did a 180 on them, and everyone, then became they then started loving the unions.
Also, let's not forget how they actually released it on their website. We talk about it every now and then about how the bot protection was there.
Yeah.
Little animated
Another
story.
great.
The t-shirts and like all of that were
Mhm.
great. It was just a very clean and easy rollout. As far as like a shoe that was accessible to everybody, I would say maybe the Union was the most accessible this year.
Yeah, I think we talked about this before. Union and Concepts they provided two of the most friendly experiences for consumers. Yeah.
Even Concepts with the Turduncan, that was a great story. I think it just hit later in the year. If that hit peak, it's also timing of shit too. That's another thing we consider. If that hit peak dunk shit,
yeah,
like during pandemic, if that was like April and those came out, I mean, the timing wouldn't have made sense.
Because it's a Thanksgiving, like because of the rollout, and it was like a Thanksgiving shoe. If you put that in April, if you put it like a duck kind of thing in April, it just wouldn't have hit as hard.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
but I think concept shoes are a little bit underrated for this year. I will agree with that, because like if you look at the resale for them right now, a plain box one is like $240 to $350 or something like that, which is honestly not that hard to get. And I think like that's a shoe that kind of fell under the radar after release as well.
But you also have to realize a lot of these dunks, there's a fatigue of SBs in terms of high resale. And then also you have to realize that there's also just, it's pandemic, and people, dunks that SBs that were going for $600 in June when they came out, people are realizing like, nah, like these are priced, these should be 300. These should be, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like,
what I think one takeaway from this year also is that high-end fashion is going to, I think within the next like 2 to 3 years, as some other brands catch up after seeing the trend of collaborating with like a strong sportswear company, is they're going to take over the space a little bit, and they're going to price a lot of people out. I mean, we've had conversations. What? Go, Luke.
Think about that though, because we had the Adidas Prada collection come out, and that was a huge fucking miss.
Yeah, big miss.
That was a big miss from that company. So you see Nike and Dior working together, and it's like this big, huge success. But you also see Adidas and Prada working together, and it's just a big miss. I don't know if these companies will want to take the leap sometime with these things sometimes.
I think with the Prada miss, I think it has to do with two heritage brands taking their two iconic silhouettes. But the Jordan 1 is going to outweigh the Superstars any day. Like there's no shell toe that's going to outdo any Nike silhouette, I think, generally speaking, any of their heritage ones. So I think that was just a product of like bad timing on both ends. You know what I mean? Like a Prada Adidas, I think, has a lot of value, just not next to a Jordan 1 Dior.
Also, can you guys even think of like a good Adidas shoe this year? Like one that like kind of surprised you?
Well, I was surprised when they said they were going to redo the forums for skate. That I was kind of like, oh, nice. All right, cool. But other than that, man, yeah, I can't, like, other than just like good Yeezy colorways, like there was not a lot of.
The Quantums were like a brick. They were a bust. I personally like the Bape Adidas collab from this year, the ZX Runners. I enjoyed those a lot. But other than that, I can't really think of anything that Adidas put out that was like, I mean, Adidas has just been, I guess, banking off of Yeezy and how like consistent that's been. There really hasn't been anything from them.
No, El, can you think of one Adidas that was like banging this year? I can't think of one other than like just Yeezys, like in good colors.
No, I can't.
Damn. See, it's crazy, but this is gonna be. It's so interesting because like Adidas had a brick year,
Yeah.
but then ends up with like this one of the sickest rosters.
Also, let's not forget Pharrell. Like the Pharrell, the Human Races, the NMDs were coming out this year as well, and all
Yeah,
of
they
those
did.
still sold out. So like Adidas is still doing its job, but it's just not wowing anybody. You know, they're still selling out. They're still doing well, but there hasn't been anything that's like caught anybody. I guess the Dash Greens I liked from the Pharrells, but yeah.
I mean, just going back to the high end thing though, you brought up Adidas and the Prada thing. I mean, yeah, they had a whole bad year, but I mean, like, I feel like this is just going to get infiltrated. I feel like everybody's looking. I mean, we just had that announcement for the North Face Gucci.
Right.
Like, who is that really for? Because North Face is not even within our price range that we speak about.
Right.
So now you got a higher tier. Well, I'll say they're a higher tier basic level, right? They're upper middle class.
Yeah.
I would consider us like a middle class sort of range. They're an upper middle class, right? But now you have fucking 1%ers talking to upper middle class, which is only bringing that a little closer together.
Yeah, it's blurring the lines as far as like, yeah, really, what are the haves and what are the have-nots?
And the other thing though is they did a great job. It's very simple branding flip. Just taking North Face Gucci and then having the color stripes on the tee like that. I mean, that's a very simple but fucking clean execution. And you really can't get much better than that.
I'm very impressed with the logoing on the t-shirt. The t-shirt might be the biggest, like the best item on here. Bro, look at these jackets. These jackets are insane. It really does take like you know what it does? It takes like the silhouettes and like the Nupsy like bubble look from the North Face, and then they just add this crazy Gucci flair to them. That's really all it is. Look at that.
Have you guys seen the meme of what a Gucci model is?
No, what's that?
You take like a collared shirt and then a vest, and then you put another button up on top of that, and then you put another vest on it. Then you put the jacket on, and then you put a handkerchief on the guy's head, and he's a Gucci model.
And you put sunglasses on him too, right? And then, yeah. It's so goofy, but it's so true. They're just layered up, long sleeves and all.
Mustache like yours.
Yeah, buddy. I'm waiting. Listen, Gucci.
Like, you know what, Luke? Actually, you could be a Gucci model with that mustache, bro.
I could be. Everybody was you were shitting on it specifically at the beginning of the year, but after this pandemic, fucking mustache grew out. Gucci's gonna be calling, bro. They're gonna poach me for the Gucci podcast.
That's funny.
Gucci podcast.
They're gonna be like, let's steal this from the lower class. have me host it. Listen, I've already done one solo podcast. They know I can do it. They know I can do it.
Which is free on the Patreon for anyone who wants to go check that out.
100% free. Come listen to your boy talk about Christmas sweaters. I find a Vegeta Goku dab one that made me laugh really hard. And then I created this thing called the Ohio Clause, which I'm going to propose to these guys at some point on the show.
Please do.
But Lawrence,
yeah.
I mean, what are your thoughts, if any, on this Gucci North Face stuff? Because I mean, like, just to go back to my point of like now, so the high end brands are not like trying to collaborate with our brands that we sort of love and appreciate and have owned our entire life.
Mm-hmm.
North Face, I feel like, is something you grow up and you go, I want a nice jacket, I'll buy a North Face. Now is Gucci's kind of pulling them up. I mean, is there any thoughts on that on your end?
I mean, we see these collabs, especially North Face. They collab all the time. I mean, granted, it's rare that you don't see them with the Gucci, but it's weird because I'm not really, I haven't been in the North Face since I was a kid. We used to wear North Face, jackets growing up in New York as a kid all the time. That was our thing. I just can't get behind the collab. I don't like. I guess I don't. There's some of the jackets, and I'm sure, the price range for those jackets or coats are going to be a little more expensive than obviously than I would want to pay. But like I said, I wouldn't rock any of that shit. Like I just wouldn't.
I feel that. Yeah, I mean, except like those clean ass coats, I can't do any of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind when I become a model for them. I'll know what.
Wait, you have Luke, you have to bless us, bro, because you have to give Lawrence a chance to wear it around the house a little bit, get used to it.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Go to the bodega, see if anyone says anything.
Oh, they will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like positive or negative, you know what I mean? Like if the guy's like, "What are you doing, bro?"
I'm gonna give him the loudest one. I'm gonna give him the loudest one.
That's funny.
And then I'm gonna give you shorts. I'm gonna give you those jean shorts that they had in one of the pictures.
I think we're actually getting close to wrapping up here, but I didn't want to not talk about the Bodega Dunks. I think we touched on them for a second, but they're coming out this week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a little bit more information on them, right?
Yeah, we got a friends and family version.
We also got a better look at the varsity jacket here.
Yeah.
Which has 2000, 2011, and 2020. Are those all the years that Bodega has collabed with Nike? Is that what it is?
I'm not sure if actually the story, the timeline kind of makes sense there. I know this is their first dunk, just being a kid from Boston, like, and this being one of the premier boutiques, like, I paid attention during those years, and I know this is their first dunk. I can't say that's like their first time collabing with Nike. So, and I also didn't realize this was based off the Sandlot.
Yeah. You had mentioned that last time on the podcast, but you're right. It is a Sandlot shoe. I thought it was just like a baseball glove, but
yeah, because when we were talking about it, we were taking it at very face value and going like, oh, this is like just I guess like, yeah, we guessed it was a baseball glove, like we didn't really know. But the weird thing to me is like Pro Keds were the shoe that was like prominent in the Sandlot movie. So to do a dunk and base it off the Sandlot, I kind of lost me there a little bit. I mean, I still like the brown ones. The Friends and Family one, that white pair is like cool, I guess. Friends and Family shoes have had a weird history just because they're like the shoe that doesn't do well on the market. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like they'll have like the pair they'll know that will like at least do the numbers they want. And then the Friends and Family is like the weird pair that the brand wanted to do. And then couldn't convince whatever brand was making it for them. That way they will sell out. All the Friends and Family ones are always the weird colors. Like this one's still clean, but
I like these way better.
These are much better. Those are so much better than the actual.
I like them better too. But if you look at, say you're a buyer or some like whatever, you're in a position at Nike where you have to work with the brand and make sure one of the shoes sells out.
Right.
A white shoe looking all baseball-y like this, I don't know if that's going to make sure all of them get out the door. Because like you guys don't even like the shoe in general, right? I mean, you like this one better, but
yeah. So you're saying, I think I get what you're saying. You're saying conceptually the other shoe is better, and the only reason we like this shoe better is because we have the other one to compare it to.
Well, there's a couple things. One, like the general market is always going to like the darker color that's not going to get as dirtied up and other shit, right?
Yeah.
This one, I think, just because of the materials and it's like not all the way a shoe that everyone wants.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because you guys don't even like the original shoe, right? Maybe you like this one more, but you're also still not buying the shoe.
Yeah, I'm not big into that shoe.
Yeah, exactly. So like these are the better shoe, but it's hard. This is the harder one to sell because it's a white suede. So that's when maybe Nike. I'm just assuming Nike was like, all right, let's bang out the brown one as the main one, and this be your Friends and Family. You get a certain amount of pairs, and you just give them out.
Yeah. So what they're going to be doing is, I believe, 1 out of every 25 pairs is going to be a free upgrade to the Friends and Family pair, which is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah,
it's 1 every 20, I think.
Yeah, 1 in every 20 pairs is going to be the Friends and Family edition, and it's going to include the little sports card pack, which sports card collecting has gone a little bit. We haven't really talked about it on this show. We've mentioned that like the StockX CEO believed that was the next big hype thing, but to see like a Bodega Nike like baseball card kind of situation. I wonder what the resale value on just the cards is going to be. Like if you got to open up a pack of cards and like you could get like the Tiffany dunk or something like that. I wonder if that's going to have like some level of resale value too.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Huh. Threw us a little bit
of
a
like
curveball they did.
Better.
A little bit of a curveball they did.
You stink.
Just wanted to remind everybody this is my last episode. I'll be moving to the Gucci podcast next week.
It's funny.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna watch what happens with that, the resale of those white ones, just because that's an interesting way to give out to Friends and Family. I've never seen anything like that before. I mean, we've had options to upgrade more recently with like Warren Lotus, but like a shoe rollout with that as one of the selling points.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
I mean, we've already I'm already looking at StockX right now, and I know it's not really a good indicator at the moment because they're not released. But they're already going for like $2,000.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Which is crazy. And then the original pair in comparison is going for around $500 to $600. But again, these are all pre-sale, so
they will definitely come down.
They're gonna come down.
Yeah. I think we're about at time. And before we get out of here, is there anything you guys last final thoughts before we do Hype Heat?
Nothing really from me. Happy New Year, everybody. That's a big one. If
Yeah,
you're
Happy New Year.
if you're listening to this on Monday when it comes out, good luck trying to get those bodega dunks. Go for it, guys.
Put in for Luke's size.
Put him for Lawrence's size.
No, I don't want them shits. I don't want them at all. You guys can have them.
No, everybody just put in for Lawrence's size. It's just Christmas present.
It's
Like,
his. No, imagine if the listeners gifted Lawrence 16 pairs of bodega dunks.
yo, that would be so fire.
That would be mad funny.
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Lawrence, any final thoughts?
Nah, just be safe. The next episode will actually come out in the new year. So I just want to thank everyone for being with us in a crazy 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, hopefully, next year in 2021 is a lot better. So
Yes.
All right, hype. Let's eat, guys. Let's do this and get out of here. What do you think?
Yeah, sounds good. Chris, you want to go first?
Mine, every time I'm home, I get a little nostalgic of the shoes that I have here. I put a bunch on Poshmark. I went through my whole thing. I shared my closet with the Discord. So, trying to do that thing I said I'd do a couple weeks ago. Sell a couple of shoes. I've already sold a couple, but I didn't know I had 5 pairs of the black D Brown Pump Omni lights.
Oh shit.
So that's gonna be my hypo seed is the D Brown Pump Omni lights, which is what D Brown wore. One of the all-time great Celtics, won the dunk contest doing the no-look dunk. I think 91.
Yep.
D Brown Pump Omni light, baby. That's my shoe.
That is a shoe.
I didn't know I had 5 pairs. I have 5.
Lawrence, what do you got?
Air Max 1, the OG, the red colorway.
Classic.
Basic,
Okay.
classic color.
Classic.
Can't go
Mhm.
wrong.
Can't go wrong.
I'm gonna pick a shoe. I already picked the 327, the New Balances when they first came out, but I wanted to pick the ones from the primary pack, which just released recently. Those are still available pretty much everywhere. I believe they're just yellow, blue, and red. Very classic colors, very easy to get shoe. I don't know. Maybe 2021, my New Year's resolution is to become a New Balance boy.
Think it'll work out.
Wow. You're gonna bail on Ewing, start wearing Gucci and New Balance.
Listen, when I have my own podcast and I've changed my entire identity, this will be a distant memory. The
Love
dunks,
it.
the Ewings, it'll be all gone.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, you can follow us all on social media. I'm at Not That Cheney, CHENEY on all social platforms. You can follow Lawrence, LZD325, those hot takes you've always wanted to see. You got Trevisus in the corner. You got Meanie with a 3, I believe, our producer. And like Lauren said, this is the last one of 2020. So we appreciate you guys having this crazy year with us. We got 3 years coming up in February, which is a crazy thought to realize. And that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Peace.